Hey guys, and welcome back. Orange Box here. I had a couple of users in the comments wanting to see a frame rate, frames per second benchmark, whatever you want to call it, of Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PC. Now, before we get into that, I had one heck of a time getting this to run properly on the Y50, and in general I'm sure it's that way on most laptops that kind of share the load between the integrated Intel graphics card and the NVIDIA processor. So I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and go through what I did to get the game to run in a full 1920 by 1080 resolution and actually use the NVIDIA processor. So the first thing I did was, and I didn't know how to do this just off the top of my head. I did a little bit of searching on the internet and found a lot of people that didn't know what they were doing, and ultimately I found a forum post on the Rockstar website that gave some clues, but I figured I'd show that here anyway, so that if you eventually own this laptop or have a similar laptop with the same specs, and if you go and try to run a game like, Grand Theft Auto 4 and it runs in an 800 by 600 mode because it thinks that you're using the integrated Intel graphics processor, well, this is what you need to do. So you're looking at the properties box here that you can right-click on the game in your Steam menu and select properties, and go ahead and what we got to do is set the set launch options. So when we click that, initially you'll get just a little text box here that has nothing in it like this. And so what Rockstar recommended that you type in is no mem restrict, and then no restrictions with a hyphen in front of each and a space in between the two. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and get out of this, and I'll show you the next thing that I did. Be right back. Okay, so the next thing I had to do prior to running the game or what have you, you'll see this file highlighted here called Line Dot Txt. This was a file that I had created in this directory, and I'm going to go ahead and open that and show you what I typed into it. So this was another recommendation via the Rockstar website. You'll see that there is another flag or command line argument here that says available vid mem, and then initially they want you to start with 2.0 instead of 4.0. Do not quote me on this, but I'm not sure what these numbers were, but since I had a 4 gigabyte card, I just went with 4, and it just so happened that that worked the first time that I ran the game. And initially when I created the file, just so you know, these were not here. My interpretation of what happened is that when I added this to this file the first time, and then I ran the game, because I put those command line arguments into Steam, it added this also. So you may not have to do that in Steam like I showed earlier. You may just be able to put these here for the command line arguments file, and everything may work just fine. But I did both just in case, because that's what Rockstar said to do. So now that you see this file here, that was pretty much all I had to do. And then when I get into the game, I'll show you what I had to do in the graphics options in order for everything to work right. One last thing before I quit out of this. This command line .txt file, by the way, is in the main GTA 4 folder. I happen to have Steam, so Steam kind of buries the folder way down in the in the file tree. But you know, if you have Steam, this is where it goes. I'm guessing that there's a GTA folder elsewhere if you bought the game somewhere else. So that's that. Let me get the game started up and let me get logged in through all that good stuff that they make you do, and we'll talk about what I had to do within the actual graphics properties in the game in order for that to work. So be right back. Okay, so here we are, got the Grand Theft Auto 4 game started up. One of the things I wanted to show you was in the graphics options. So you'll see that we're playing the game at 1920 by 1080. I've set most everything to high that I can within reason, I guess. But the one important thing I wanted to show you, after doing some of the trickery that we did earlier in the video, you'll still see this warning here, and you'll see that the resource usage is 805 megs out of 24. Don't quote me on this, but I just think that that is because the game still thinks that we're using the Intel integrated HD video card, but we've tricked it into you know, using the NVIDIA processor. So let's go ahead and get into the game here, and we'll take a look at some frame rates walking around the city and doing some driving. While this is loading up, I am using Overwolf to capture the frame rates, and this time to also record the video. So let's see what we can see. Here's our lovely apartment that we start out in. So let's get out of here. We'll walk down to the street and hopefully cause some trouble. Oops, I forgot that we got little tips here and there. I guess maybe I should have skipped past all that. Oh well, it won't take too long. Okay, let's get into it. So, just walking around, I would say that we seem to be consistently above, you know, at least 30 frames per second, and you know, that's good enough to play. So let's do a little bit of running. That doesn't seem to affect anything too much. I think the big test will be driving in the city, simply because, you know, the frames have to render so much more stuff more quickly. So let's do that. This guy looks like a good candidate. So I would say this isn't doing too bad. You know, just my opinion, but, you know, for a laptop, any game that, you know, has kind of more modern graphics in it, and I know GTA 4 is a little bit older, but still, for it to remain at least what appears to be consistently above 30 frames per second, I mean, I'm happy with that. And for those out there, too, that are wondering, you know, with this Overwolf recording the screen capture here, I mean, when I first hit, you know, record, it killed the frames. I mean, it went from pretty much consistently above 50 down to the mid 30s that you see right now. And I think I've said that even on a couple of my other videos, that, you know, the frames tend to really be affected when you're recording, so keep that in mind too. But, you know, for people out there that want to make, you know, Let's Plays or just video of gameplay in general, just the fact that this laptop can, you know, record and you can still consistently get above 30 frames per second, I think that's awful darn good. So I won't complain one bit. It's the first laptop I've ever had that can even play Grand Theft Auto 4. So, you know, I guess as far as a frame rate thing goes, that's, oop, now we got a cop on us. That's probably about all I'm going to show, so I think we can end this video here. And yeah, so anyway, you know, feel free to leave a comment and leave a like. And if you have any other suggestions, like I said before, if I have the game currently or in the future, I could certainly. Oh well, you know what? Look, we just dropped below 30 for a little bit here. Maybe because we're rendering new buildings that we haven't, you know, really entered into yet. So, well, maybe that's a good thing that we saw that. It looks like it's slowly but surely catching back up, though. So, anyhow, like I said, I guess we'll call that a video, and I hope that this is helpful and informational to some, and I guess that's all, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everyone.